All right. Good morning, guys. Um, Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. I don't know if I did. I must have not have went live last week. But I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. You could tell by my voice, I haven't been feeling too well. Um, but I got a good wife, and she's got me some medicines, and I'm getting to be better. I don't know what it was. It's not the damn COVID, because I ate everything that she cooked and tasted everything. It just must be a deep sinus thing, because man, it's making my eyeballs flutter, and I just couldn't concentrate. And super tired. Of course, I'm fat and old. I guess that makes it even harder to breathe. uh, but like I promised you guys, I haven't touched the ramp truck at all. You can see it's still in the same shape. What I did do is I pulled out an original. Some of you guys on Facebook seen I was still building. Let me pull this out so you guys can see. I got this from Jeremy Churchill a couple months ago. It was built, or well, it wasn't built, but it was already painted. Um, and man, people were talking about using Awesome as a paint stripper. And if you guys have followed me through the years, I've always done the brake fluid, .3 brake fluid, to strip my plastics. I use aircraft stripper if I had a die cast. Of course, being who I am, I don't build many die casts, but I've rebuilt some for my father. He collects 118s, and me and my older son, um, I stripped a few for him, let him repaint and stuff like that over the years. But man, I've used this Awesome for years. Get it at the dollar store here in the Midwest. It's Dollar Tree. And what's up, Jeff? Speaking of Jeff, dude, I'm looking at your old Monte Carlo. I got it right off to the right side. Remember your blue one you sent me years ago? I still got that, boy. Um, but I use this LA Awesome usually to clean up my resin molds when I would do molds, and I would clean, get debris and stuff off of it. It's basically a degreaser, um, and it's washable. Yeah, way back then. I'm talking about '07 lay it low days and shit, man. Back when the Pittsburgh Steelers were good. And but I'd always used it to clean up resin parts, clean up all my molds, after I spray my mold release in there, and, just to prep my resin parts for the most part. Um, then some people talked about stripping, using it for a paint stripper, and damn it, it worked real well. I took this, you can see, I think it did better than the brake fluid. You can still see the resemblance of the blue. But look, it got it all the way back down to the white plastic. I added the C1 over fenders from Chris Hales. I call these orphans. These weren't in a Pacific kit. He just... Oh, Jeff, I had to stop and laugh at that one. I had to, I call these orphan fenders because he'd send them to me. I'd bought a box of over fenders. Just me and Chris Hales get along real well. Made him he knows I've crossbred a lot of his kits to other things. I reached out to him and I asked, do you have anything kind of squarish? Because a lot of the over fenders are round or they're bulges, where they go just like that. They're um, gradually glow over. So he sent me these maybe 4 years ago. And they've just been sitting around. So I finally used them. And I used a fin off of his trans signal set put on there that I didn't use when I built my little blue Escort. I had leftover parts from another C1 kit. So I put that on there. I hinged the hood, and this is what I've been working on while I was waiting for you guys. And then my good friend James Turtle Hart suggested I put an intercooler in here. So I've been working on that yesterday. Added an intercooler because the radiator for this kit is, look how little this radiator is. So I made an intercooler because I'm going to go with a carbureted turbo setup for this little turd. Little 4-cylinder turbo carb thing, like so. So that's what I've been working on to keep me busy. I just generic chassis right there. So if I put all this together, this is the look. It got to get squared up. Let me pin it up. Pin it up so we go. It's going to look like this when it's done. A lot of the tuner trucks, a lot of the Toyotas and Nissans get a lot of attention. So I thought I would crack out this Ford Courier. It comes with molded in headlights. I already drilled those out. Got everything smooth and everything. And so we'll be doing this as a custom truck down the road. But you guys don't know how hard it is to build something. Well, for me, I know HPI guy does a lot of box stock builds, but he does it all online. Great guy to follow. He has a sponsorship with Chad and them over at Round 2, where he gets to build a lot of the newer stuff for Round 2 to help display and, you know, share and stuff like that. But he does it all in one video mostly. So all right, so let's get back to this. I think what I want to do today is we've been working on the bed for the last couple videos, and like I said, last time we talked, that's a little bit of the blue residue from the other paint job coming off. I think what I want to do now, I kind of want to move on to the chassis. I want to get this set the right height, get it set where I think we need to be. So let's pull the parts out for the chassis stuff. So it looks like got a floorboard. We're going to use a different. All right, let me back up. Let's get. Oh, crap. Okay. Don't need these. Alright, we're going to need drive shaft. What we got? Let's see. Here's exhaust. Now, I'm going to end up with you know what? Let's just get this. We'll need this. That's crazy, guys. I can't find. I don't see the frame. Well, hell. I know we had the frame out. Somewhere because we were looking at it one day. No, I don't. got that. Let's have this. Oh, that. This. Oh, I see it. Do you guys see it? I see it. No, look, Jeff. Look, I'm sitting here looking for it. It's right here. I just barely saw it out of the back of my eye. I'm like, I know I have it. Sneaky, man. That's probably one of the kids hiding it from me. All right. So since we're using the 62 cab first, I'm gonna build the interior for the cab, so that way we get everything situated. All right. The reason why I'm going to do this is so that way we can get the true foundation of the cab sitting in. It looks like a good blade, but I always like to switch my blades out on a good project. I see. Thanks for who we got here today. We got Pete. We got Ron. Hey, Ron, thanks for joining, bud. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Um, yeah, that stage fright, Pete. It was stage fright. And we got Pete from Scaled World right there. You guys see that? If you guys don't know, Pete is a good big sponsor of the YouTube channel. We actually got a rebuilder that Pete is. We did this. Pete actually started this. The paint job took a sour to it. We're going to rebuild it and put my flavor on it. But this week, Pete acquired some zoom on parts we're going to add to this build, and he printed off some 3D parts we're going to put on this build. I'm also excited to share that we're going to rebuild one of Pete's 350Zs. We're going to rebuild it, and then I got a couple full 3D kits coming later in 2023 that Pete has purchased from Black Box and is going to print, and we're going to build those on the channel for Pete. If you guys don't know, through the Facebook page, we just finished this right here for Scaled World and Pete. So this is finished. It's about to be ready to be boxed up. I was waiting for some interior parts for it, but I'm thinking I'm just going to send it back to Pete. Because once you have the insides open, you really wouldn't be able to see some of the stuff that we were going to do to it. Maybe Pete can fill it up with a little bit of stuff when he gets there, when he gets back. But shout out to Ricky Wallace Jr. He built this part he built the box part. I built the van part. We both worked on the chassis. And so it's going to be a full-blown good display build for Pete. If you guys don't know, Pete supports the hobby. We even put the Scaled World on the dash for you, Pete. He supports the hobby in so many ways behind the scenes. He usually don't enter models, but he shows them. He displays them to help put inspiration on the benches, on the tables at the contest. Pete owns a lot of my stuff. I'm not able to go to contest, and him and George Ramos, part of the Diversified Scalers Model Club. You guys know George as Vision 124. They've been great partnerships with me on taking my models around the country and showing them, because I don't have access to go to the shows. So this right here is like a gratitude thank you build. And I built several stuff for Scaled World, with the anticipation that it's going to get shared worldwide, and that's beautiful. Because if it was just me, they'd just be sitting down here on a shelf. All right, so where were we? I'm gonna build the cab. I'm gonna build the cab stuff so that way we know exactly where it sets on the frame. Because this does not belong to the kit. I'm going custom wise and not using the 72. What is it? A 1967 cab. I'm using the 66 cab. So let's speaking of Vision 124, donated these Tamiya snips. Really, really good. Need this. I probably won't need the dash, but I'm trying to get all this stuff together so that way I get the true mount. And if you guys seen, I was talking about stripping a minute ago on the Ford Courier project I just shared. I don't want to discourage any builder, but I believe if you take the time to strip your project prior to, like if you get a rebuilder, or say you're working on something, and the paint job messes up, don't just repaint it. Try to get it back down. Try to strip it and get it back down to bare plastic. I've seen a lot of people acquire a rebuilder, or they had something they had already built and they want to customize it because they've seen stuff that I've done, or something someone else on the internet has built, and you know what, now I want to take my regular cab and make a crew cab, and they just take apart an old build but they never strip it, and then they're trying to glue a painted red plastic to a painted black plastic, and then you see them try to do the body work. Well, then you have, between these two products right here, you have a different, it's not even. You're not going to be working with bare plastic all the way through, because this has who knows how many layers of paint. This has who knows how many layer of paint. And then now you're going to have to put filler in between there. And then you can't always guarantee that now that your red piece and your black piece had done the body work, that the body work is going to adhere to this paint or that paint. And then you put your other paint on it and it reacts. So now you got to strip it. And when you strip it, you lose all that stuff anyway. So just take the couple days that it takes to strip and get yourself back down to fresh plastic. I'm trying to use good words, because I know there's going to be children's and stuff that watch our videos. That's how I was encouraged to the hobby. I'd watch my father and my uncle then, and I'd ask my questions and I would learn. One reason for this video and one reason for the stuff I share on Facebook over the years is when I was a young lad, I'd go to shows and, I'm thinking, oh, I put wires in my motor and, oh, I've tinted the windows and I lowered it. And you see other cars that were just box stock getting awards. So I'd go up and ask. That probably was a pain in the butt, I ain't gonna lie. But I would go up and ask, it's like, why is that car win? And I got wire wheels and I got, this and that and the other. And I get comments like, oh, you'll learn. Nobody would tell me what I needed to learn. They just said, oh, you'll learn. So I always been that type of hobbyist that it's not nothing I do is a secret. I'm willing to share. And it just helps everybody grow in the hobby. Because I've seen people get frustrated and disappear. I'm like, man, where you been? I hadn't seen you in a while. Back when I was attending the shows and the, all the hobby meetings and stuff. And, oh, I didn't like it. They all have favorites. They have their buddies. And at first, sometimes it looks like we have a buddy system in the hobby. But in reality, we need to step our game up, and without the help of stepping our game up, the good guys get better, and the guys that are trying get left behind because they're not getting the attention, the help that they need. And sometimes there's people who just don't want to help. Um, they either don't want to help because they want to be the best in their genre, or they make money off of their they'll make money off of their knowledge. And time is money, and an experience. um so sometimes it's a financial aspect of it, and sometimes it's people are afraid to help. um Dude, all you guys know, I build for me. I'm just lucky enough. I have been building since 1980. It's been my passion, and my wife will say addiction. Um, but it's what's kept me. Um, I don't trace, never been an addict on drugs, and never been an alcoholic, or addicted to gambling and stuff like that. This right here was my passion. If I could get $20 to spend at the hobby shop, I was much happier than spending $20 at a slot machine or at the bar. I'd go to the bar, I'd go to the casino with my brother and my roommates and stuff, but I'm going to have fun. I'm going to what they say, socialize. I wasn't going to try to get rich and then blame all my worries. I took care of my bills, and I had some money left over, man. I was buying Pegasus wheels and model kits. I remember being young, and $5 model kits were my goal. It's like, okay, so if I cut this grass for 5, this grass for 10. Speaking of which, I wanted we Pete doesn't have the Scaled World internet page no more, the web page. Some things happened, and it was the best decision to um, dissolve the page. But what I would like to do is I would like to get back to doing the Scaled World Wednesday stuff, where I would keep you guys updated on things going around in the hobby, because there's some pretty neat things going back on. If you guys don't remember um, VCG resin, Craig has been doing, Manny, we always called him Manny, is getting his podcast started, and I don't know which platform he's going to do his podcast on just yet. We know Scale Riders does his podcast, or had been. I hadn't got to follow for a while. And then he's thinking about bringing his newsletter back, when he used to have his resin company up and running. Every now and then we'd get a monthly newsletter, sometimes on paper and sometimes on Facebook. It was neat just to see what was going on in the hobby. And I kind of liked doing that for a little bit when we was doing Scaled World Wednesdays. We was informing you guys about new kits and group builds and stuff going on. So I'm not going to glue the door panels on, guys, so that way I can take them apart and work on them, detail them and whatnot. But I want to get some of the main stuff glued into place, so we know exactly where the cab is going to set on the chassis. And if you guys haven't noticed through some of my other videos, I do a lot of test fitting. I go through a lot of tape. With that being said, I like to pull out my blue. Yo, my boy Blue. Give me a piece of tape here. Because we're going to do a lot of taping today. What my great grandma used to say, cleanliness is next to godliness. So that's when I made the comment, if you're going to be doing custom work and stuff like that, but you're going to use old projects instead of buying two new kits, you use a built up and what have you. Take the time and strip them. And like I said, I was surprised. I was actually blown away that the Awesome stripped that blue, because it was a heavy blue spray paint. There have been comments left back behind on Facebook that it won't work on lacquers or something like that, but it's definitely a good cleaner for $1.50 from the dollar store, because it all went up, so you gotta assume it's now the $1.25 store, what the joke was. Alright, now we're not going to glue the dash, we're just going to clean it up and use it, give us the good space. Then, to always get your true fitting, always clean up your parts right as you cut them off. And that way you know what your true gappage is and what have you. It's also that time of year where you guys are all getting family gifts. I know most of us on here have children, out all different age range. I got a graduate last year, so it's kind of way different buying him Christmas stuff this year. Then, my twins are still young. Alright. So we get this in there like that. Then I'm always just going to test fit the cab just to make sure. See, that's already, damn, it's going to be tight even when it's built. Alright, maybe I did that different. So maybe this. Oop. Hey! Woo! Sorry about that. Okay. Alright. There's where I did wrong. It gives you a place to glue it to the basket. You see the notches? But it actually snapped right in on here. Okay. Where'd that dash go? Put that dash in there. Well, what I was saying, it's that time of year around that we got to get ready for the holidays. Some cultures don't celebrate Jesus' birthday. Some people do. My family does. We always have. So growing up, man, that's a nice fit. Look at that. That's no glue or nothing, fellers. This right here, I don't like the way that's fitting just yet, but we'll work on that in a minute. I used to remember going through grandparents, and one set of grandparents would just give us money, but my other grandma actually was single, and she was she did things different with me and my brother and sisters than she did with the other grandkids. I can say this now because she's no longer with us, and I don't think they follow my page. But we used to be able to get, because a lot of my grandma's other grandkids either lived out of state or were a lot younger than me and my brother and sister. We used to get to go through the catalog, and when we grew up, Montgomery Ward's was real big. Sears was real big, and so what we would get to do, we would get to dig through the catalog and pick a gift or two, and then Grandma would go buy it, and that's what we got for Christmas from from Grandma. A matter of fact, I keep her picture. I keep her picture right here. She's always with me. That's my grandmother right there. That's where I get my red beard from. My daughter will ask me, she goes, "Why are you brown headed, but your beard, um, is red?" And that's because of Grandma right there. All right, so this right here seems to fit pretty good. It looks like that's where everything needs to belong to by the notches. But remember, the frame is for 67. So then let's put the bed on and see if the bed's lining up with the bed mount holes that it should. Alright, so let's move forward from there, guys. Alright, so we got the cab. Alright. Now, this is supposed to be twin I-beam front end. I don't know if I want to do the twin I-beam or if I want to go with the Chevrolet. There it goes. Looks like, let me pull out my, I'm pull out the instructions for the, I'm pull out the instructions for the fleet side. This is the cab we're using, the 66. What's neat is I already cut the wood floor and everything up for this bed. I might make this bed a trailer. I don't know yet. So it's motor. All right. So we're going to use as much as the 60 as we can. So let's see. 66 front cross member. What number is this? 366. That cross member says 366. So let's do that. If you guys haven't built any of the Mobius kits yet, when they're pretty nice. The first set of Ford trucks, I didn't like the way the windshield set in. I mentioned Vision 124 a minute ago. I built a station wagon for him. I built a custom wagon for him. We used a Mobius Belvedere kit. A group of us all used the same kit. I donated mine back to George. I turned mine into wagon. I didn't like the way the windows used to set in, but it looks like the 67 kit that I gotten last month and this kit here that I gotten in when it came out in March, because I'm a big early 60s Ford truck fan. Looks like they redesigned the windows, so I haven't got the chance to put them in yet, but it looks like they redesigned the window to fit with the lip. And before, that was the only problem I'd seen with them. Then once the ramp kit came out, there was a lot of complaints of a lot of warpage. And I know one of the good friends of ours in the hobby, he had a big issue with his, but it seems like Mobius was quick to replace the damaged parts. Like I said, I mentioned just a few minutes ago, I always clean up everything prior to installing it. Oh, don't bend that. And again, it's your guys' hobby. It's your guys' kits. But for me, everything comes off the trees. Yeah, I don't like to paint stuff on the tree. All right, nice little fit. So the 66, just so you guys that are following want to do the transplant too, the 66 cross member fit into the 67 frame pretty easy. So let's get we're using Tamiya extra thin. I'm just using a regular brush. It comes with this lidded brush, but I don't like the curve, and it's got plastic bristles. I like using my hair bristles. Kind of easier application to put it on there. Used to for years use Pro Weld, and my local hobby shop, Jay's Hobby Heaven, used to be in the mall. It was my second ever job I had. Used to be in a mall we had here in the Midwest, in the Kansas City area, um, at Indian Springs Shopping Center. But that mall is way gone. Like it's not even standing anymore. Then Jay had another shop, um, a couple towns over, and then he just, got old and closed up. Let's see. And testers was the only choice for the longest time, and I didn't care for testers glue. It melted a lot of stuff. Um, so it was I would use it with the toothpicks. All right, so we're going to get it built to where we can put these turds underneath it. So we'll probably have it right there about that right height. So we'll look through and see where we go from there. So now, looks like they want us to add the motor mounts. I don't know when to add the motor mounts just yet. Let's get the I-beams out. But anyway, Grandma would let us dig through the catalog, and that's the picture, and we'd pick out the picture that we wanted. Of course, for me, a lot of the chain stores, Montgomery Ward, Sears, J.C. Penney's, that would have a catalog back in the 80s, didn't have model kits. So I would pick a racetrack or something, like that, or Hot Wheel sets. I've always been into cars. But it made me think, and nowadays, with a lot of people, like I mentioned a minute ago, Pete has purchased, 3D printer for himself, and just do little odd jobs, for items that he wants. I know there's several other builders out there that have a 3D printer now, that they're not doing it for business, they're doing it for their own pleasure. But then we have other people like Joel over at Iceman Collections, that does it for business. You got, our guys from USCP, the Ukrainian guys that do the 3D printing and ship to the United States for us. We got a couple guys now. I can't think of his name right off. Gavin, sorry, brother. Can't think of your last name. He runs, a website called Lowrider Parts, and it's 3D printed. And he's actually from Japan, but he prints and sells, U.S. style lowrider stuff, man, and it's really really neat, and very clean stuff. Um, well, so it got me thinking. I posted up on my Facebook page, with it being Christmas season, if you were able to pick, well, we need to lower that a lot. Look how high that front suspension is. If you're able to pick a Christmas gift from a family member, what would you pick? And of course, I picked Steve Zimmerman wheels, Detail Junkie photo etch. Just hypothetically speaking, and I just thought that was really neat. Brings me back to my childhood a little bit. Got a lot of pegs. See these pegs? I think something's different from this chassis in the 66. I got a lot of pegs that ain't lining up. But the cab mounts, see these cab mounts right there, there's a little slot on the floorboard, and those line up. And the notches back here for the cab to here, they line up. So I'll have to look at the instruction sheet. Alright, so if we're going to lower this truck and put these torque thrust on there, this is our ride height right now. So what I would recommend, if anybody is following this build, I'm going to like to get my marker out, give me a little highlight. I'm going to go right even with the chassis. So I'm going to cut right there. I'm going to cut right there. And we'll start right there. That way, if we need to add back to any of this, the add back to will be in places that won't be seen, versus if we cut it right here too short, then, you know, you'd see the mess up. So again, back with the cutters. Try to keep it even. I've been promoting these for like almost 3 years now. The ultimate sanding stuff, you can get them from UMP. They're out of the UK, but they ship worldwide. And man, these have been some of the best sanders. And like I said, I've had them for over 3 years and they're still good. Looks like this post here is a little larger as you go down. So let's drill it out. Almost dead on. Almost. I'm going to drill this post out a little bit more. Sometimes you need the big boy. I don't know where the big boy is. Here it is. I see it. Don't get serious. Delirious. Come on and get serious. So let's dismount the frame. And since we already know we're going to drill that side out, let's go ahead and just drill this side out and get them both drilled out at the same time. Use your finger. Now don't poke yourself, but you use your finger and you could tell the plastic starts moving. You could tell when you went deep enough not to go through. Alright. Okay. So let's resize that back up. Alright. Now let's get this frame back on. Alright. Frame back on. Put that right there like that. That like that. Haha. There she is, boys. What do you think? Let's go work on the other side. we can manipulate all that. I'm not worried about the tilt. I was worried about the function because the wheel and tire will hide. The wheel and tire will hide that bend. This is what it will sit like that. So I'm gonna glue this in place. Oop. The chassis so long it's hitting everything. Trying to find all the stress points. That's why I like this liquid glue. You can find all the stress points and get that glue exactly where you need to instead of just a big old blob everywhere. Alright, so now let's start back on this side. We're going to go straight across the frame. Get you guys back into the picture here. Get that glue out of the way. Alright. Basically, if you don't have a sturdy hand and you can't make your line like that, you're going to want to cut almost directly even with this kingpin, is what it would be called in, like if you was really doing the automotive work. That's a kingpin. Ford were famous for that, and their vans, when they had the I-beam suspension like this, because they don't have an upper A-arm and a lower A-arm. They have what's kingpin, and all your product is in here, and what keeps your knuckle or your spindle, if you use the right word, the spindle is a great big old piece of rod through here, and they're called kingpins. They are a pain in the ass to change. Okay. I'm going to do this side a little different, see if... So that way you guys can see where I'm putting the holes. And then we'll come in here and we'll clean up and get the... Right there, Bella. Look at that. Alright. Now the rest of the front end we have to put together. No. Get back in there. Oh, okay, I see. This one here has a different angle to it. So it's not wanting to set in there right, if you guys can't see that. See if we can get that in there a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is slightly in the middle and hold it for a minute. Give it just a little bit of stress bend. You don't want it to snap. There it goes. Just a little bend. Now it can glue in there. Alright. it's amazing. I was talking about how Pete and George are able to take some of my built models.
Not listening to you.
I'm
too busy. Can't hear you.
But I'm on the live. Sorry about that, guys. How I was, they dig from Detail Junkies. Um, has done the same thing, and over the last week or two. Oh yeah, man, Poland. What time is it over in Poland? It's like 10. Let's see. It's 11 o'clock here. So, so I built a dedication build for, wow, 7 o'clock already, or 6:07. I mean. Oh, it's morning here though, buddy. It's morning here. um, and I had a message from a guy that attended the Paint and Piston show and giving me good comments on the Fairlane that I'd built for Dig, in appreciation of all the hard work that Detail Junkies does for the hobby. Um, and like you guys know, I built dedication builds for Scaled World, for C1. Chris Hales has a one-off custom that I built using some of his products in a way they weren't intended for, but I built him a full custom body and everything, the same as I did with the whatchamacallit, the Fairlane for Dig. A lot of these parts switch over pretty decent. I'm sitting here looking at the notches from the 66 to the 67, and they're not exact fit, but it's very, very distinguishable close. All right, to get the radius arms, these would be what keeps the arms from, or keeps the I-beams from going back and forth. They're called radius arms. Let me get this. I got to clean this one little notch off. If you guys can't see that, get you back in camera. Let me try my clippers first. Another thing really neat that that Vision 124 had shared with me, not only these clippers, and all models out of the Czech Republic. This all model scriber is dominating when it comes to cleaning, doing mold lines and stuff, guys. I don't know if they're still in function, because I've had that for a couple years prior to the pandemic. It seems like once the pandemic hit, we lost a lot of good businesses, and then Russia trying to take over Ukraine put us behind on some of the stuff that we were getting out of the Ukraine. Now with you over there in Poland, models, craft, with you being over there in Poland, do you have good access to model accessories? Now guys, since we lowered this, I'm going to modify this I-beam a little bit, and I'll make it more believable looking. So, yeah, dude, it went up everywhere. Um, Let me see if I show you something. For example, I ain't got a lot of older kits. Um, Case in point, AMT AMT 64 Impala. This kit right here. Um, this I grew up building this. I probably built this 50 times. Um, this is one of the kits that was easily to get. It's been reproduction several different times, different box art, but they never really updated the part, so it's always been the same kit. I was buying this kit at $5 a kit for years. I mean, probably 30 years at $5 a kit. And then all of a sudden, $12, $17, $25. Now they got it priced at Hobby Lobby for $40 in US currency for the exact same kit that we were buying from 1980 to like 2015 at $5. Yeah, stuff's gotten way stupid. Um, yeah, see, so you get a little cheaper. Now, when you say you only buy American car models or U.S. car models, is that U.S. manufactured models or U.S. brand models? Because okay, there's see, you got another problem too. Not only if you're buying just U.S. models, you got to worry about shipping costs too, I guess. If you can't find them locally. You know, I know a couple builders, um, like C1's in. Yeah, but you gotta consider too, craft. You gotta pay the shipping on top of that. Um, so like if you bought it from me, I guarantee you the shipping cost by itself is probably going to be $20 to you. So there now your $25 kit is now $45. Uh, Craft, if you're not a member of Facebook yet. Oh, okay. That's good that you have market for kits in Poland. So are they the same American companies like Revell and stuff like that, or do you have to buy? I'm trying. I'm manipulating these radius arms, guys, to fit and look appropriate. Yeah, AMT was my favorite. Dude, if you can get a hold of these Mobius kits, they remind me of the original AMT stuff from like the 80s through I want to say like 96 before they changed to starting to do the new tool stuff. Man, I'm really liking this Mobius plastic. It works good, it sands good. I use all automotive paints and primers just like for a real car would craft, and the plastic handles, all that. I've had some issues with some of the Revell kits. Some of my Johan kits, um, they've actually wrinkled in the plastic. It's called plastic crazing. Um, it's actually gotten bad on some of them, but guys, looks like I manipulated the radius arms to look appropriate. Craft, do you entertain Facebook? Do you have a Facebook page or follow on Facebook? Yeah, my Facebook group will be under Mr. Mini Dreams too, just like this title. Everything I do is going to be under Mr. Mini Dreams, and that's how you know it's me. It's not, it won't be a fake. Um, I build my own. A lot of my pictures will show, so you know you're not getting scammed. We got just to take a quick look of all the pictures you'll see on my desk. Even though my desk has changed over the years, you know, sometimes I change the scenery under the glass. For the most part, a lot of this stuff stays the same. So that way you're going to know you're not getting cheated. I don't ask for money. I don't ask for people to send me parts or kits. I do have a good following and a good friend group that will send me stuff. I won't deny no gifts, but you'll never get a message from me begging. Um, Thanks, Rimmel. There's a lot of people that try to use this hobby. I don't want to say for sympathy because that's not right. But I hate to say that, you know, we have some scam artists out there, and with you being from Poland, and I don't know if you guys deal with that a lot over there, but over here, um, Facebook ain't the safest place. So, and you'll notice, Craft. I don't do no racism. I don't do no, what do they call that? Um, Political propaganda stuff. I don't support any kind of hatred. My group is just for the model hobby and car related stuff. Like, you can share automotive pictures, you can ask your questions, you can share your builds. If you have something that you're trying to uh, sell off to buy something else, I'll let you, if you're under good standing. You can sell your products on there. You can ask for products on there. But it's meant to build friendship, and it's meant to keep this hobby alive and supported. Fellas, look at this. Manipulated the radius arms just enough to look believable. And it somewhat covered up the notches that the 67 needed. The 66 were back a little bit further, but we got this whole 66 front end under there. Well, not the whole front end. We still need to do the tie rod ends, but we'll do that. We still got to put this piece on. We'll do that later on. I just want to get the ride height for right now. So we put this back together. And Craft, I support all aspects of modeling. You'll see figurines, you'll see planes, military. Steve, I just rent all the warranty by cutting all the suspension up. So now let's see what we got going on. I just want to check the ride height one last time before we move on to the rear end. So we got that. Let's get our other wheel in there. I forgot I didn't narrow this side down yet. So it has just enough. This came from a die-cast toy, so it has just enough of a of an arch still I got to get rid of. Poland craft. Sometimes this channel here, we've had sponsorship builds where a company would donate product, I would build it, and then we'd raffle it off. And so there's, if you're new to the channel, um, there's a lot of stuff that you could take part in. Once I moved and built a new home, so kind of we kind of been slowly getting back to the YouTube thing, but I constantly post stuff up on the channel. Hey, what's up, Scott Hess? How you been, brother? All right, so get rid of that notch. Scott, today, if you're just joining us, um, we've been manipulating, yeah, ain't we all? I was just talking to another modeler, ain't gonna say no names. He's always followed us and supported us. He's just been struggling a lot, way the economy is, and he got hurt, and so not being able to go to work, sometimes just listening to somebody, with what they're dealing with, will help them mentally. So I spent the morning talking to a good friend and getting him, letting him vent a little bit. So yeah, surviving's what a lot of us are doing right now. Yeah, I gotta bring up the big tools for a minute, fellas. I had to trim down that barrel. Had to trim down the inside barrel. But like I was saying, Craft, yeah, just anything you want to share, ask questions, feel free, man. The page is open. If you don't get a direct answer from me, which I go by David Sean on Facebook, so when you see me reply on the Mr. Mini Dreams page, the David Sean is me. Look at that, guys. What do you think? If I can't get the camera down, that's gonna be all right. You guys want to stick around and do the rear end, or you guys want to call it a quits for today and we'll come back to the rear end next week? Because I know we've been an hour, and I know you guys have things to do, and man, I'm liking that. I'm glad yeah, Scott, I started with this, with the Mobius 67 Ramptruck. Yeah, Craft, I want to try to go every Thursday. I'm going to try to go every Thursday and probably, try about an hour to do it. Like you said, today I went a little over an hour. Sometimes going past an hour, it starts freezing. You start having some live issues. But I like to go, Craft, if it's 1800 at your place just now. I think if we go back an hour, so maybe between 1600 and 1800 that will be on here, you know what I mean? So that gives, for me, that my time's opened up between 10 and noon. At US time, we go a little different. You guys are doing the military time. But Yeah, I'm gonna try to do a Thursday live. I used to do week well, we when Skilled World was up and running, and I had more time before the move and stuff. Used to do Skilled World Wednesdays, but then my son has some stuff that goes on now on Wednesdays, so I switched it to Thursdays. Try to get back into the swing of it. So the day may change, but yeah, it's gonna be my morning. I guess your evening. All right, so let's see. Let's do the rear end. Now, I find it easier to manipulate a lowered rear end than the front end, especially on a Ford with the I-beam. Ford ran the I-beams all the way up until 97, I think. And I'm pretty sure the van stayed I-beam until the Transit. I'm not real sure on that. I remember when I lowered my real Nissan pickup truck, um, I bought 4-inch drop spindles for the rear, drop springs. I didn't buy the lowering blocks because I wanted the car to be on the ground. I didn't want it to, scrape. Scott, that's what I was just telling Kraft. He's from Poland, and he builds a lot of AMT kits. And I was telling him these Mobius plastic kits are pretty good. I like their plastic and stuff, and the amount of detail. Trumpeter, I was really excited. Jeff, don't you think so, bud? Now that's the front done. I mean, the wheels ain't mounted, but I found. Now this is the 66 rear end. And you can see there's a little bit of warpage in the rear end on the 66. But like I said, I used the Tamiya thin glue and it will melt it into place. So just a little pinch like that, give it a second, and a little pinch, and it's pretty much together. All right, now we need the springs. That's for that kit. Tell you what, this thing is full of parts, man. That's that exhaust. That's that exhaust. Here we are. Let's see what else we got. I don't see the third number. I'll probably keep see the straight 6 that comes with the 66. I know it's probably not a 260, but I almost keep that for one of my Maverick builds. I really do not know where this third number is. Well, I am dumbfounded. I'm looking through both my kits. I don't see a third member. Yep, I found it. Because I'm not looking for the third member. I'm looking for... Yeah, I was looking for the third member. I was looking for this. I wasn't looking for the pumpkin. So I was looking for the wrong thing, Scott. Now, Steve, you bought a real truck? Are you talking about the models? Because I didn't know there was a 65 kit out there. I have 60s, and I have 61s, the original AMTs. I just finished a 60 and send it off to New York. Reveal. Alright, I'll have to check that out. Alright. Alright. Well, like I said, we're going to manipulate this to work with our vehicle. It might not be perfect, but... Oh, the 60 AMT Chevy? Hey, Kraft, you need to go to Facebook. You need to contact Robert Burns, and he has the Crown Vic. It's a 3D printed body. Guys, I'm gonna take a break for a minute. Robert Barnes will have the 91 Crown Victoria. He'll have the body. I've recently, where's the other one? I don't know where the other one is. I recently got this from Robert. Right here's a box top. 80 Ford Fairmont. This is a 2-door box top. Now it's a 3D printed body, and it comes with all the accessories. It won't come with no interior, no motor, no chassis. Yeah, Robert Burns. Here's the Delta 88. Like, again, all you're going to get from him is the body and the outside items, like your grill, your bumpers. They're really detailed. I don't know where my Durango box went. Oh, I see it. And then I also got the Ford Fairmont pickup truck. They're called Durangos. They only made 50 real cars of these. You can't tell it being the white plastic in my camera, but man, they're really detailed all the way down to the vents in the cowl to the floor. All the light bulbs and stuff are in the tail lights. It doesn't come with any clear parts. You have to cut and make those. Man, the bumpers are separate. I just got them, sitting in there. Well worth the money. The white plastic starts at $65, and the brown resin starts at $125. But man, there's some great subjects. And he'll have the Crown Vic. I believe he has a Crown Vic in the 2-door, in the 4-door, and in the station wagon. So I think he has in all the options. On eBay, it's Models by Rob. And sometimes he has stuffs on eBay, but a lot of times, the only backside to it is, Craft, is he builds in periods. So he'll put a list up and he'll take orders for, say, the month of January is already done. So you'll probably have to wait, and he'll probably go back again. I think he does it every 2 months. All right, we're going to manipulate this. I don't know where to start our manipulation. First of all, let's get the bed on there. Okay, back to the tape. All right. Uh-oh. Maybe my frame is warped. Having a little issue there, guys. Which one was that, Ramel? I forget, man. I built so many of the Cadillacs, brother. Do you remember what color I'd started? All right, so I taped. I'm gonna get the cab back on there. Where the cab need to be. All right. Oh, dude, I did that. That's been long gone, Rimmel. Man, I have to show you pictures. I have to get pictures up on Facebook of, well, they should be there in the albums. Yeah, brother, that's been a minute. What time is it, son? I know some people use blue tack, but sometimes blue tack doesn't get you all the way fitted. So, all right. So if we do this the way the kit is talking about, Rear end's going to be right there, right there, right there. Do that, do that. Yeah, they got expensive. Oh, look, good call. I got all kinds of. Look at that back one here. Alright. Now it looks like in order for us to get the droppage we want, we're going to have to ooh, maybe not. So if we can get that right there and that right there, I don't think we'll have to manipulate a whole much of anything. Alright. I'm going to pull the tape back off, and we're going to glue the... Oh. Alright. So let's do this first. Alright. So what we're going to do here is first we're supposed to glue it like this and that notch. And in this notch for it to be legit. But I'm going to move it up like this. And then we'll trim that off. Leave the front alone. And then manipulate back here. We'll do that. Like I said, for me, guys, we're building a custom truck. If you guys want to be period correct and what have you, you'll need to do your modifications accordingly. I think I'm going to bring the whole spring up even. Right there. Leave the front alone, bring that even. One thing I like about this Tamiya Extra Thin also, it's easily sands, and it's more of a welder, so it doesn't leave big old glue clumps. We'll do that. We got this and this. Huh. Guess if that works, it works. Let's do this. It wanted to force itself down. Yeah, Steve, I'm going to try to do it every week. Oh, yeah. That might be something we can entertain. Down the road, another how-to video, Remmel. That seems like a fairly easy thing I can do for you guys. Remmel's commenting about I took an Impala the Revell snap together Impala, and I put Thomas Taylor altered Nomad roof on it to make station wagon. And they have resin wagons, which I have one above me right now of the resin wagons, Remmel. So basically, guys, what I did is I just moved everything up. It gave me the room to do that. So I'm going to put rear tire on, rear tire on. All right, just leave that right there. Rommel, I have this right now on hand. What Rimmel was talking about, this right here is the Caprice version of the wagon, the resin wagon. But it runs about $65, and you still have to have a kit to put into it. And I actually took two Revell plastic kits, and made the wagon a couple years back. You know what, to give this some more security. Sorry guys, my hand keeps getting in the way. I'm gonna put some clamps on this boy. Yeah. This rear end's being a booger. Yep, Jeff. Where'd you go, Jeff? Right here. Always at my fingertips, bud. We got hacksaw. We keep a hacksaw handy. We got a miter box. We got blade saw. We even got custom made. Now this was a big fun project to do with Detail Junkies. We actually I helped come up with some ideas, and we actually did a Detail Junkies photo etch saw blade. You can see how thin that is. Because right here you can get in there. It's a little tedious, but man, you can get in there and get some good stuff done. Gotta have your blades, man. The number 11, the backside of the number 11 was my go-to for years. So you can also use the backside of the blades, also a good scriber. Let's see. Now, I'm going to see where we're at right now, guys. It looks like my son's informing me that it's lunchtime, so this, I might have to wrap it up here in a minute. But So before I clean anything up, I want to see where we're at on. Oh yeah, we should be decent, guys. We should be real good. And like I said, I have my bone saw, which I've had for years. You guys don't know about this. This is, if you guys are good with your Dremel and everything, you need to pick up a Frowny 5/8. Wipe that off. Frowny 5/8 saw blades, and they are super, super thin, and you put them on your Dremel. Right now, I'm probably going to have to use the saw to cut these. Yeah, I'm trying to get it just perfect, Jeff. Just perfect. All right, so let's see where we're at on here. So we get that and this. What you got, son? Got your pop? Oh yeah, Jeff, I think we got it, buddy. I'm gonna put the tape back on it, give us a truer fitment. Now it's no longer setting on. Get your ass in there. There it is, guys. We got the right height. A little crooked on the front wheel still. I got to trim up that front barrel. But yeah, I think that's where we want it. We got an hour and 40 minutes in today. We shared a lot more than just the truck project, but that's okay. We met a couple new friends. Hopefully we get some encouragement going on and keep some of you other guys that have been in a building slump eager to get back to the bench. And maybe we spark some ideas. Nice to meet you today, Kraft. Good to see you other followers and supporters coming back and joining. Jeff, it was good to pick on you about the Steelers just for a minute. Yeah, that's right, Scott. Them saw blades will get you. Yeah, no problem, Kraft. Again, guys, this is Minnie. Thanks for the support and everything. I think next week, I like to get an idea of what I'm going to come into next week. So that way, if you guys want to follow, you can make sure you make it. If you don't want to follow, because it's something that don't interest you, I think next week I want to hinge the hood, and then after we hinge the hood, I think our next process will be to start building a motor. I built this one. This right here is a resin motor that I had casted. Oh yeah. This one I had casted and built. Haven't put in a project yet. I don't know if I'll use it for here. This is one out of a Revell Trino GT that I built and detailed. I haven't used it in anything yet either. Sometimes just to pass the time, guys. I just build the motors. I had so many parts kits. Sadly, at the end of October, the very first part of November, I sold 200 kits to a local guy. Stuff that I had parted out. Stuff that I really didn't have no use to. And just downsize my collection to what I really want to build. Um, so yeah, we'll see you next time, everybody. This is Minnie, and I'm out. Oh, we had a good day, Mason.